diving, couldn't get his feet down. Dwayne Starks over there to cover, and McNair just did get it off.
Hey, both these quarterbacks are going to have a reservation for the hot tub after this game. They are getting hit. And again, look at that throw from Steve McNair. Right to Derek Mason, but he's out of bounds. But again, Steve McNair gets the foul through, but takes a shot right in the chest from Keith Washington. Both of these quarterbacks have been pummeled today.
Eddie George, by the way, has 85 yards rushing. He's not in the backfield as McNair from the shotgun fires quickly and complete. Yancey Thigpen went inside. The throw is outside. Punt team comes on. It's just the contrast of how quiet 68,000 people can become when their home team has the ball, and the noise they make when the Ravens are trying to initiate play is it's stunning.
Well, Jeff Fisher has been very vocal in his pleading with this crowd during the weeks. We need you. Don't let us down. We need you to be there and to be loud.
Hentrick. Short kick. Jermaine Lewis comes up the fair catch at the 26-yard line. Might be the 27. Only 34 yards on the punt.
Brad Hopkins there, number 72. He gets a chance to go to his first Pro Bowl this year. These guys are going to be teammates in Honolulu. And you know what? That's kind of nice. See a couple of guys going at it tooth and nail, and then have a smile afterwards.
Lewis from Miami. Hopkins played at Illinois. Here comes the noise machine. Dilfer throws low but complete to Ismail in front of Samari Roll. Haven't called his name much today. Roll from Florida State in his third season, making it to the Pro Bowl. He has had a sterling season with 7 interceptions. Remember, probably made the Pro Bowl on that 81-yard touchdown return against the Redskins that the whole world saw.
Oh, one of the most spectacular run backs I've ever seen. Of course, no corner on either team here today has really had to defend many fly patterns, have they?
It's been short. That one good for 5 yards. Gopher. And no one over here. Streaking down the sideline was Patrick Johnson, but he was 15 yards away from the ball. Fans calling for a penalty, but
well, the fans are calling for a penalty because there was no receiver anywhere in sight. But keep in mind that to get intentional grounding, that has to happen at the same time that he's risking the imminent loss of yardage in a sack.
And that was just a misconnection with his receiver.
That's right. Now, if he had a guy hanging off of him, then you make the argument for intentional grounding.
Priest, Holmes, and Brandon Stokely come in as they go to the pass offense. That's Stokely in motion. Cornerback blitz. Throwing almost intercepted by Kenny Holmes. The defensive end had it in his mitts, but couldn't tuck it away.
See, they always call linemen's hands paws or mitts.
Well,
why is it? Why is that? Whoa, that's a pretty good job of corralling. Yeah, I think you've got a pretty good case there, Quade.
Well, that's playoff officiating.
Yes, it is. Well, you know what? I'd rather see it that way than the other way. Call it too tight.
Richardson, 51 yards on his last kick. This one is much shorter. Fair catch Mason at the 32 or 3-yard line. Only 36 yards on the punt. Gives us a chance to talk about tomorrow night. All new, beginning with the King of Queens, followed by the new comedy hit Yes Dear. Don't miss Monday's #1 comedy Everybody Loves Raymond, followed by Becker starring Ted Danson. Monday's #1 drama Family Law. It's a night of top comedy and drama, all right here, the Monday lineup on CBS.
Well, very little comedy here at Adelphia Coliseum, but a whole lot of drama as we move to the end of the third quarter. This is if you like good, solid, fundamental football, we're seeing a lot of it here.
Tied at 10. 23 seconds left in the quarter. McNair underneath to George. And Jamie Sharper and Ray Lewis make the tackle, and that will probably take us to the change of ends and the fourth quarter, and perhaps more, as the game is tied at 10.
Is that Eddie George or Jeff George? Who caught that?
You're going to be an agent yet. End of 3, 10-10, and we'll return to Adelphia Coliseum right after this word from your local station.
What's he doing at that computer? Buying shares in IBM? No, betting on the 49ers. The internet is a gambling casino. Tonight.
Congratulations to Ted Danson on his Golden Globe nomination. Don't miss Becker, CBS Monday.
Alan, I just want to thank Advance again for setting me up with those network digital copiers.
Tell me, why in the barn?
Put it this way to you, Alan. My milk production's up 100%.
Digital copiers, network printers, connected systems, advanced business systems. We live and breathe this stuff.
The Women's Center at Harbor Hospital, diagnosing and treating every conceivable women's health problem every day.
Will extra amenities in your life lead to greater happiness? Are 64 crayons in a box better than 8? Is there such a thing as too many cable channels? Avalon. The most luxurious, most refined sedan we've ever created.
Denise Cook helps make Eyewitness News Baltimore's favorite news team.
With Dan Deerdorf and Bonnie Bernstein, Dick Enberg, welcome back to Nashville. We go to the fourth quarter. The Titans and the Ravens tied at 10. This is second down and 2, and George able to twist out of the initial hit and get close to the first down. Appears with that second effort made the first down. Bonnie?
Well, Eddie George hasn't had a 100-yard rushing day against his opponent until, well, he's pretty close. He's got close to 100 yards. But Ray Lewis made an interesting comment. He said the Titans live and die by what Eddie George does. And if you knock the king off the hill, the soldiers are going to retreat. Well, I got news for you. The king's on the top of the hill today, and the soldiers aren't too far behind, Dick.
All right, Bonnie, and there's the number, 87 yards for George, only 13 away from doing something that no one has accomplished against this Raven defense for more than 2 seasons. Quick throw, complete. It's the tight end, Wycheck, and he carries the tackler all the way to the Baltimore 43. Corey Harris got a free ride, and the flags come down.
Well, Corey Harris, you saw him swinging the right hand, trying to knock the football out of his hands. But the flag might be for the fact that he hit, really threw him after they were well out of bounds.
Personal foul. 26 defense. Late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, he calls Rod Woodson. Bernie Kukar identifies Rod Woodson. Let's watch Corey Harris, number 45. He slips and he's late in the coverage. But right here he's going to start trying to knock the ball out. But really, Woodson gets called for the late hit. And that is a good call because both of those players were standing a good 5 feet out of bounds when Rod comes in and delivers the hit.
So first down at the 28 of the Ravens. George to the 25-yard line. A gain of 3 more for the talented tailback of the Titans. He now is at 90 yards.
Well, Dick mentioned it's been over 2 years what Eddie George is trying to accomplish. James Allen of the Bears put 163 yards against the Ravens December the 20th, 1998. That is some strength.
Al Del Greco wondering what his role might be. Has had one block and missed a short one. Blitz from the corner and incomplete as Aaron Kinney, the tight end, unable to pull it in.
Well, everybody makes the right reads. Steve McNair sees the blitz. Aaron Kinney makes his adjustment. They just aren't able to get it together and come up with a completion. And right now, I'd say that Al Del Greco, given all his experience, is still well on his way to an ulcer. He has an excess of gastric acid working right now.
But he's got a lot of company around the league. It would be a 42-yarder if the Titans fail to make a yard on this play. Here comes Woodson on a blitz, and McNair takes off. Oh, is he hit? What a collision at the 20-yard line. Jamie Sharper and Dwayne Starks. Boy, did he sell out on that one.
Oh, my. Look at this. A bad ankle and all. Here comes McNair. Sharper's 55. Drags him from behind. Starks actually misses him. Starks gets more miss than anything. Barely clips the shoulder pad of Steve McNair. And I'm with you, Dick. Initially, it looked like that was a real throat shot.
37-yard field goal attempt on 4th and a yard and a half. Blocked again. And picked off. He can run it. Look out. Anthony Mitchell. Anthony Mitchell at the 50. And Mitchell is going to go all the way for a Baltimore touchdown. Here's a man that is playing in his 29th game of the season. Mitchell was in NFL Europe action with Rhine earlier in the spring and now plays a full NFL schedule as the Titans have this one blocked by Rob Burnett, it would appear. Burnett has blocked 8 in his career.
And keep in mind, a blocked field goal when it crosses the line of scrimmage is treated just like a punt. You are able to pick it up and run with it. And a stunning turn of events here in Nashville. And this place is deathly quiet.
Anthony Mitchell in the right place to field that blocked field goal. And boy, has that been the Achilles of this Titan team today. Stover adds the extra point. And the first time today, the lead belongs to the Baltimore Ravens, 17-10.
The family has always put in the forefront to protect the quality and the standards set by Adolphus Bush.
The deep sense of pride that my grandfather taught me, that my father continues to teach me.
I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
We're back. Bill, your whole business is going wireless. Can you retool to keep up?
It's
well,
Bill.
Bob, we have an 18-month infrastructure plan. My guess, you've got 6 months tops. Can you do it? Well, we're evaluating several options. Can you say right here, right now, that you'll be wireless ready in 6 months?
Oh, don't do it, Bill. Remain calm.
Well, if we need to do that, we can do that. There you go. And the street's going to hold you to that, Bill.
And that's when it hits you. You are so ready for IBM.
Oh, Bill.
It's cold outside, but when Harm's old flame drops by,
I'm not involved with Mac.
Jag heats up.
There's something going on between you two. You have a big mouth.
All new Jag, CBS Tuesday.
Baltimore takes the lead 17-10. Keith Washington loses his helmet, but doesn't lose his head as he gets his right hand on the football. Watch Washington, 93. There comes his helmet, but up he goes anyway, and he blocks the field goal. Rob Burnett was directly behind him, but Keith Washington. So what Tennessee has had 2 field goals blocked.
Both by Keith Washington.
Baltimore has had 2 punts blocked, both by Chris Coleman.
How incredible is that? And this one is the game turner at the moment. Early in this fourth quarter, Alan Lowry, the special teams coach of the Titans, before the field goal. No prayers answered there unless he was rooting for Baltimore, as the kick is returned 90 yards by Anthony Mitchell. Now it's Derek Mason from the 4. Oh, he's running the wrong way and corralled by Billy Davis. Now Tennessee will start inside its 15-yard line. Oh, this has become deadly quiet here at Adelphia.
Well, something you don't see every day, a field goal run back for a touchdown. I remember one time in college, I was at Tiger Stadium and watched Lem Barney run a blocked field goal back for a touchdown for the old Lions. That ball did not get a lot of elevation by Al Del Greco. There was some penetration, but in reality, that was just a defensive lineman getting up in the air. A normal field goal attempt should be high enough in the air that it shouldn't be blocked by a defensive lineman in that position.
Now McNair. He's going long for Thigpen. Intercepted and then dropped. McAllister had it for a moment.
Great play by Yancey Thigpen. McAllister has an interception, and Thigpen becomes the defender and strips the ball. Boy, that's outstanding by Thigpen. McAllister has that ball, and Thigpen takes it away from him.
Thigpen, a physical wide receiver. One of the reasons why they wanted to give him plenty of action today, because he's a good blocker as well against this tough defense, and he makes the physical play there.
Oh, yeah, that's a wonderful play by Thigpen.
Quick throw for about 7 to Derek Mason, his 5th catch, and slow getting up.
Mason stays down. He knows that he's got a linebacker going to come at him from inside. When you run this little pattern, you know the big guys are coming from the middle. Right there. That's Anthony Davis that goes flying right over the top, and it looks, did his knee hit him in the helmet? Watch this right here. Yep, there's the left knee of Anthony Davis that hits Derek Mason right in the helmet.
Now a timeout taken with 11:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Ravens by 7.
Working for a big company was not for me, so I took a risk and started Mad River Boat Trips. Fortunately, I made some smart decisions early on, like hooking up with a small business group at American Express. These guys really know what we need. They helped us figure out easier ways to pay for inventory. And now when we buy things online with the card, it's never been safer. You know, I couldn't work for a big company, but I don't mind having a big company work for me.
What can we do for your business? Call 1-800-SUCCESS.
William, you're my only living relative. Jones, you have served me through thick and thin. Now, wrestle!
Wrestle?
E-Trade's online sign-up makes it easy to open a brokerage account. Apply now and you could be investing in 5 minutes. It's easy. Apply online for a $75 bonus. E-Trade. It's your money.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by American Express Small Business Services. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. Nike Shocks. Boeing, thoroughly experienced and explained on Nike.com. And by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at guaranteed low prices.
Welcome back. 3rd down and 3. You saw Mason being attended to on the sidelines, able to walk off under his own power. Quick throw, but will it be enough for a first down as tight end Frank Wycheck tackled immediately, and boy, that's a pretty good spot.
Oh, Corey Harris. Of course, you know that in 3rd and 3 that you're looking at a short pattern. You're not expecting Wycheck to run down the field, but Corey Harris, you can't have coverage better than that. And again, Corey Harris starting at strong safety today because the normal strong safety, Kim Herring, missing this game because of an ankle injury. Harris is the nickel back and their #1 special teams player.
And his tackle,
look at that,
timely indeed by a couple of links, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And Jeff Fisher has no choice but to punt. And the crowd's booing, but you can't, with 11 minutes and 7 seconds left in this ball game. You don't run the risk of turning the ball over inside your own 25-yard line.
That was McNair, Steve McNair, who started very strongly with a couple of good scrambles on an opening drive that led to Tennessee's only touchdown. Was their first possession with the opening kickoff. They went 67 yards in 11 plays with George, the touchdown run. But since then, the Ravens defense really has flexed muscle. Craig Hendrick, he's had to leap to take one snap and field another one low. This is on the money. And a very short, wobbly kick. Lewis stays away from it. And it was not touched by a Raven, although the fans looking at that one with their heart. Covered downfield by Frank Chamberlain, the former Boston College linebacker. 39 yards on the punt. 10:44 left in the 4th quarter. Baltimore with the ball and the lead.
Seattle is surrounded by water, and then it rains, and that means car accidents. When that happens, are you going to have a State Farm agent who knows you personally, or are you going to have no agent and hope for the best?
Over 16,000 State Farm agents.
Our rates are very competitive.
It's no accident. They insure more cars than anyone else.
I'm going to be getting some calls today.
To test the power of interstate batteries. Anyone for a power shake?
Hey, this baby's cranking out some power.
Interstate batteries, power fast, built to last.
Hey, this one first, second, third place. Woo!
Remember Jared from Subway? He's inspired a lot of people.
He's still looking good. He leads the rest to 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less.
Subway, eat fresh.
Okay, sweetie pie, let's see what you got. Whoa, come on. You got to do better than that. Come on now. You got to rotate. Come on, Parnevik. Is that all you got? Suck it up.
Not enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Baltimore ball. 37-yard line, leading 17-10 on the block field goal touchdown. Jamal Lewis for 3. Bunny?
Well, Dick, the crowd noise is starting to pick up here at Adelphia, but after Del Greco had that field goal block that was returned for the touchdown, it was as quiet as I've seen it here all day. And while Del Greco has gotten support from his teammates in his struggles earlier in the day, not a soul's talked to him since he got back last on the field.
It's not an enviable position. Every time you go out on the field, you're expected to produce 3 points. No one's perfect, and Del Greco has shown that today. 1 for 4. 2nd down and 8. Lewis again. Oh, what a hit coming up from the secondary was Blaine Bishop and Marcus Robertson. Robertson 31. Solid hit.
Well, the last drive, the Ravens got Jamal Lewis loose. He was finally getting some yardage, but here's one way that you put that to an end. You bring your free safety up, and this is how your free safety arrives and makes an impact, just like that.
41 yards now for Jamal Lewis rushing today, and here's a big 3rd down and 4. Priest Holmes in the backfield. Dilfer, incomplete. right through the hands of Shannon Sharp. He won't drop many like that. That was right there.
And there weren't many he needed to catch more than that. Dilfer did a good job of identifying the receiver that was going to give him the first down. And boy, that is rare.
That would have been about at the 50-yard line. Oh, Kyle Richardson the punt.
Well, that was a break. The question now, can the Titans do anything with it? You see Thigpen back there because Derek Mason is hurt.
Richardson driving a spiral to Thigpen at the 14 as he hit. And flag is down back where the punt was delivered. Eric Morris of the Titans was trying to block the punt.
Do it again. Nice play. We got to go do it again.
Billy Davis came down there and put.
He didn't have to slow his gait at all. He had a 70-yard run at the kick returner.
This conference seems to have piqued everybody's interest.
Holding against the kicking team. That's going to deny a beautiful punt and coverage that had the Titans pinned inside their 15.
Holding. 56 offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. 4th down.
Anthony Davis, the linebacker. And Brian Billick.
Is that Mason going back there now? I think Mason's back out on the field.
Yeah, he is.
Look at that.
It looked really a severe injury when he went down earlier, but here he is standing at the 25-yard line, the top kick returner in the league. This one a much shorter kick. Mason says stay away from it, and it does take a Tennessee bounce to the 40-yard line and a flag flown.
Yeah, flag was thrown right into the Tennessee bench. Something happened right along the near sideline here.
The legal touch, but
normally just drop that the bag or the hat for a touch. This is a
personal foul against the Titans. Boy, when you're down by 7 in the 4th quarter, they'll afford that.
Well, they caught a break, Tennessee did, and now they've negated it by this penalty.
Personal foul. 37 of receiving team hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's Dane and Sidney again, and he's been ticketed 3 times today and had an interference call that was critical in the loss to Baltimore in November. That seat is cold.
Mr. Roberts called and wanted to take money out of his account.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I am ready to trade online.
Now, I said,
you know we can do that for you.
Wait a minute, Fidelity? Trading? You mean brokerage?
I told him, sure, just go to powerstreet@fidelity.com.
Fidelity.com, the site ranked highest in investor satisfaction by J.D. Power & Associates.
Sounds like everything I've been looking for.
Oh, and one more thing. When you're ready to try wireless trading, you let us know.
To invest, call, click, or visit Fidelity.
Look at that. Staples has overnight delivery.
Slow down, let me see.
Wow, it's free. Hey, look.
Guaranteed low prices. Slow down. Staples delivers.
And you can order online. This traffic's terrible. Yep. It's like this every single day. That's really weird.
Need office products delivered overnight? Yeah, you got that. Call 1-800-STAPLES.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Fidelity. All the expertise, service, and technology to help you see yourself succeeding. And by IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level.
Dane and Sidney's penalty costs 15 yards. Here it is.
He's working against James Trapp. Now they're out of bounds right there, and that happens. But you got to know you're out of bounds. You got to know you're in your bench area. You don't get the opportunity in that situation. Just grab a guy and throw him to the ground over in your own bench. Not smart. Not smart at all.
So instead of the 40-yard line, Tennessee starts at the 25, and we hope you'll stay with us after college basketball. Local news tonight on 60 Minutes. Is the internet becoming a gambling casino? Watch tonight, 60 Minutes. McNair fires complete. It's Mason, and he's hammered again, but close to the first down yardage, and across the 35 it is a first down. 11 on the play. Rod Woodson, the defender.
And I think this is smart of Steve McNair to start going to his wide receivers a little more. Been an awful lot of dinking and dunking in this game underneath the wide check and the backs and whatever. This is start utilizing some of the speed you have outside, not to mention the fact that it's a nice change of pace.
Mason, the receiving leader in this game. Throw to Mason again. Got away from Dwayne Starks and picks up another first down at midfield. 7 catches for Derek Mason.
Now Mason is hurt. Derek Mason took a hit. He looked like he did something to his left leg after, I don't know, it almost looked like it happened during that play, but he really hobbles over to the bench.
Grabbing at his calf as if he might have pulled the muscle. First down at the Baltimore 49 with just under 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. George. And it's pretty tough to run wide against this Baltimore defense. Ray Lewis runs so well side to side. That's the 27th carry for Eddie George as you looked at Mason, and the Titans are 23-1 when he goes 27. But they trail by a touchdown at the moment.
Well, they're winning a lot of battles, the time of possession, etc., etc., etc. Except for the 17-10 score, they're doing just fine.
Whoops, here comes Sam Adams.
Well,
and Lionel Dalton.
Yeah, but Steve McNair pulled out.
Number 9 of the offense. The 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And yes, folks, it does happen. The quarterback forgets the snap count. And that's exactly what that was right there. Steve McNair forgot the snap count that he called in the huddle. Now, normally when you goose your center like that, regardless of the snap count, he'll deliver the football. You know, you saw Steve McNair raise his hands. Normally that brings an instinctive snap of the football from your center, but that's just Steve forgot it.
So shotgun, second down, 14. Good protection. Intercepted by Ray Lewis, and Lewis is on his way. He's going to go for a touchdown. Oh my!
And Eddie George is heartbroken because that's his fault. Eddie George could barely get up off the field because he knows that Steve McNair threw the football right to him, and he mishandled it and gave it right to Ray Lewis.
Brian Billick playing to the Tennessee crowd as his team has returned a field goal block, 90 yards, and now Ray Lewis, an interception from midfield. It was in the hands of George, bobbled, and a 50-yard return by Ray Lewis, just underlining his strength as the AP Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. A 2-touchdown lead for the Baltimore Ravens. 6:41 remains, and Lewis playing to the crowd as well. He did indeed quiet them.
And they are hopping in Baltimore, and they are hopping in Oakland.
That's his first professional touchdown. That's right, Oakland, the Raiders, if Baltimore wins, gets to play at home.
Here he is. He's got Eddie George all the way, but look, to throw a little bit behind Eddie George, but he gets hands on the football, and he keeps it in the air, and it goes right to Ray Lewis. It wasn't a great throw by Steve McNair. It was a little bit behind Eddie George. But look at that. Look at that hop. Right off the right hand of Eddie George, right into both hands of Ray Lewis.
And the owner of the franchise from Cleveland to Baltimore, 40 years, owner in the NFL, Art Modell, 6:41 away from going to the AFC Championship game. Now it's going to take a true Music City miracle for the Titans to get back in it. Mason will try to start it. And gets barely to the 20-yard line before Anthony Poindexter makes the tackle.
Well, now that this is a case where Tennessee just has to somehow realize it was 6.5 minutes left. That's plenty of time to score 2 touchdowns. Granted, it's against Baltimore, the #1, all this and all that. But you have time. Keep your composure. Tell each other in this huddle, you are good enough to come back. And look, everybody's contributed here for the Ravens today. 7 points from their special teams, 7 from their defense. That has been the story of the Baltimore Ravens this entire season.
The Titans have all 3 timeouts. McNair short to George, but that gains only 3 yards. Lewis there again for Baltimore.
And Eddie George, and that wasn't all his fault. When I looked at that play again, the pass from Steve McNair was behind Eddie George. I think there's blame to be distributed between both of them as we look at Rob Burnett, who's shaken up. But geez, these 2 guys have been such warriors all season for the Titans, and now they find themselves in this spot.
After the Ray Lewis touchdown, his first ever in his 5 brilliant years in the NFL, Brian Billick how to believe it. It's been a team that I think won the favor all the more the Baltimore fans when they went through that awful October, where the only man to score any points was their kicker Stover. That the team showed no finger pointing. They seemed to be the same when we saw them. Their character was extraordinarily high. Billick has this quality as a leader of men to keep the positive frame of mind.
How you keep your defensive team from going after the offense when you don't score a touchdown for 5 games, and somehow they win 2 of those 5 games.
To be the #1 seed, which of course the position earned by the Titans, doesn't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl. Only Denver in the last decade as the #1 seed went all the way and took the big prize. Jacksonville was knocked off by Tennessee last year on this date. George again, and they're waiting for him was Robert Bailey, the backup defensive back. And it's shy of the first down by a couple.
And this is where Tennessee's lack of a real deep passing game is a tremendous hindrance to this club right now.
And their best deep threat, perhaps Derek Mason, has been banged up today. So McNair will scramble for the first down, and he takes the hit from Rod Woodson. Now here's a man 35 years of age, Rod Woodson, playing at safety. An all-pro at corner, moved inside, and he still plays this game with a fervor.
Well, he's only going to his 9th Pro Bowl, Dick. How's that for a guy who's washed up, right? Forget about it.
His young quarterback Starks, who's 20 in his 3rd season, and McAllister's 2nd season, call him lovingly the old man. Wycheck pushed out of bounds, and with the clock under 5 minutes, that will stop the clock. Let's go back to that last hit by Woodson.
Yeah, watch and listen.
Woodson, who was a All-America track star in high school and college out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, was the Big Ten hurdles champion 4 straight years, the 55-meter indoor, and it's about as good as anyone but Greg Foster. I asked him about Foster once. He said, I don't know what he looks like. I only could see his back.
You'll be able to see what he looks like someday in a bus in Canton, Ohio.
To the sidelines and through the hands of the leaping Chris Sanders, who hasn't had many chances today. Here's the Ravens story has been often this one. Half the yardage. That was true against the Jets in the last game of the regular season. But that defense, man, special teams
and
today.
Special teams. They got 2 Jermaine Lewis punt returns for touchdowns against the Jets. This is just a remarkably resilient football team.
3rd and 5. McNair finally to George. Oh, is he horse-collared at the 48-yard line by Woodson again? What am I supposed to do? They pay me to hit you.
Well, no going low here by Rod Woodson. We saw him hit Steve McNair up high, and he's going to take on Eddie George right at the shoulder pads. And, you know, your first instinct is to think, well, he must have grabbed the face mask. Well, he didn't.
4:20 left. First down at midfield. McNair again to George, who suddenly has become his leading receiver, and Ray Lewis. These two men going to have each other's number on their own jersey, the way they've been pressed against each other throughout the entire game. 8 catches now for George, 52 yards to go with 90 yards rushing.
But they need more than 5-yard patterns. They're going to have to force the ball downfield a little more than that.
And it's again to George, incomplete. Corey Harris there to cover, and George must be exhausted.
Well, he had the ball again. Steve McNair delivers it right on his hands, and Eddie just started to turn upfield and was going to try to plow forward before he had possession of the ball.
Tough catch. You're running away from the ball. It's thrown low, and he almost flipped that one into the enemy hands. It's 3rd down and 3 at the Baltimore 45 with 3 minutes 48 seconds left. Still all 3 timeouts left for Tennessee. Short, and flag goes down. Wycheck, the intended receiver. Corey Harris, the defender. And holding is the early signal.
Yeah, there's holding on the receiver in the slot.
Holding. 35 defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Robert Bailey was covering the slot receiver, and that's where he gets called for the hold right here against Derek Mason. Mason's trying to work to the middle of the field, and he's just horse-collared there by Bailey.
That stops the clock and gives Tennessee the first down at the 40-yard line.
Now Bailey can go, well, that's a bad call all he wants, but that's not the case.
Rodney Thomas relieves Eddie George. Gone. McNair going long. For Sanders, incomplete. He was falling as he was covered by Chris McAllister. It would have been a spectacular play as the rookie Jamal Lewis looks on.
Well, McAllister arguing the case that he was interfered with by Sanders. McAllister, you see him running there. He's looking at the football all the way. See, that's the way a good corner plays, and Chris McAllister has every right to get up and complain as he's pushed into the ground by Chris Sanders. There is no doubt that playing the football all the way was McAllister, and Sanders, with both hands on his shoulder pads, pushed him into the ground.
Just does extricate himself and throws to Wycheck, but out of bounds. And so 3rd down rolls up for the Titans. Peter Boulware did a good job of chasing McNair out of the pocket, as we remind you again that their aerial coverage, and our thanks go to Southwest Airlines for the pictures from above today.
There's still plenty of time. 3 minutes, 29 seconds. Not a lot, but you need 2 touchdowns. You can get it into the end zone, get an onside kick, and you are still having a possession with the ability to tie the football game.
Yates 10 for a first down.
Oh, run the ball, Steve.
And he was trying to hit Carl Pickens, the veteran acquired from Cincinnati in the early fall, and he had some running room, didn't he?
Oh, to the far side of the field, Steve McNair. Take a look at this. Let's go ahead and roll it, guys, and then we'll stop it. But to his left is going to open the whole field. He moves right. If you look at it right there, here is the closest Raven all the way down here. I think Steve McNair, with his open field running ability, could have picked up a lot of yardage. He would have had to break one tackle to pick up the first down.
Now this becomes a signature play, 4th and 10. They've got to make the first down here. And they don't. The Ravens take over on downs. And they might be quoting Edgar Allan Poe themselves today. Nevermore, quoth these Ravens when it comes to that defensive side of the ball.
And Steve McNair just overthrows the ball right there. That ball just sailed on him. He had an open man, and he just threw it way high.
3 minutes and 18 seconds away from a trip to Oakland, California, and an AFC date with the Raiders are the Baltimore Ravens, who break huddle at their own 40-yard line. 8 wins in a row coming into this game, Billick's team. Lewis for 3. And here are the tiebreakers. It was tied at 10 until El Del Greco tried a field goal. Blocked by Keith Washington into the midst of Anthony Mitchell and the free agent from Tuskegee Institute. All the way 90 yards for a touchdown. And then Ray Lewis gets a favorable bounce. 50 yards. Fullback power there. They weren't going to bring him down.
Well, on the one hand, you look at the Baltimore Ravens, and they have been opportunistic. And sometimes you then have to look at it at the other side, and the Titans, who've taken a timeout. What a cruel game this can be sometimes. Look at the advantage in yardage for Tennessee. They're winning just about every battle except the scoreboard. But they've made the mistakes, and they've paid for it.
Lewis for 2 more. It'll be 3rd down and a short 5. Marcus Robertson and others making the tackle. John Thornton in there as well. And another timeout used by Tennessee. They have 1 remaining. And here's a look at the lineup tonight. Michigan State, Indiana basketball to follow our game here from Tennessee. And then tonight, it all starts with 60 Minutes and then an all-new episode of Touched by an Angel. Don't miss the People's Choice Awards, folks, with your favorite stars from TV, movies, music, and Garth Brooks, a live performance, all here tonight on CBS. Yeah, you've been there. There's never a kind time for players who work so hard year-round now to finally have to stare at the end of a season squarely in the eye.
And it's one thing to be the underdog and to be beaten on the road, but to be the favorite, to lose at home. A lot of people saying the Titans the best team in the game right now. 13-3, the best record in the NFL, and to find themselves looking way up in an attempt to win this thing.
Well, it's a must stop for them here on 3rd and 5 as Dilfer just goes down rather than throwing an ill-advised pass. He takes the sack back at the 33-yard line. Javon Curse will be credited with the sack. He's been pretty quiet today.
And Bernie Kukar winds the clock, and it moves under 3 minutes. Javon Curse and Trent Dilfer knows that taking a look at things with Jason Fisk in front of him and Curse coming from behind.
Now Fisk will actually get credit for the sack. He touched him down. So they'll spend as much time as they can. Now it stops at 2:48. And Jeff Fisher wondering who called the timeout. He's out on the field, in fact. Bernie Kukar said somebody called it.
And that's anybody out there can call the timeout. Jeff can argue all he wants, but if one of his players signals for it, you're going to get it. Well, the one thing you said this earlier, Dick, about talking the talk and then walking the walk. Baltimore has done both.
Yeah, the Ravens will be Raven tonight. And Ray Lewis. We've seen him 3-4 times this year. What a man he is. I mean, he just, when you think of the great linebackers through the history of this game and the ferocity with which they play and the speed. Now, Richardson has had 2 blocked by Chris Coleman, number 17.
This is no given.
Gets it away. Derek Mason says, don't get near it. It'll roll just inside the 30-yard line. Well, it's early in the college basketball season in terms of the conference schedule, but in the Big Ten, how you can't beat Michigan State, defending national champs, unbeaten, longest winning streak in college basketball currently at Indiana University, where they love the round ball, and you can bet there's going to be plenty of noise down at Assembly Hall in Bloomington to try to inspire the Hoosiers to an upset. That follows action here from Nashville. Well, 2:34. What does McNair and the Titans have? They need 2 touchdowns to tie. There's nobody open. Washington chasing McNair, and finally on the sidelines, incomplete to Chris Sanders. Jarred by Chris McAllister. Now, McAllister's the talker. He's the one that made the comments about Eddie George. A big cornerback. He's 6'1" and 206. And it was interesting yesterday. Jeff Fisher, we chatted with him, and some of his players were about to come in the room. We said, well, who are the players for the Ravens that maybe, aren't being talked about that you really think are good? He says, he had Horace Willis. That McAllister is pretty good cornerback.
Yes, he is. And he's just a kid. Just his 2nd year, their #1 draft choice last year. He's going to end up being one of the game's really good ones.
Down the middle, incomplete. Rod Woodson was the closest to the ball. 2:22 now left. Bunny?
Well, not only is Shannon Sharpe a pretty good tight end, but I think he's got a crystal ball. He said every week I go to Marvin Lewis and ask, how many points do you need from us? Lewis, of course, the defensive coordinator. Lewis said 7 this week. Sharpe said, we're going to give you 21 because I've never felt as good about this team as I did this week and the way we practiced. And, well, he was close. They actually have 24, guys.
But in fairness here, he's got to give some pats on the back to the defense and special teams, who got 14 of the 24. McNair will try to run for a first down and spins out to the 40-yard line, and that second effort won't be enough for the first down at the 2:10 mark. He'll try to get off play here before the 2-minute warning. Apparently not. McNair starts walking toward the sidelines. So with that, a timeout. Ravens 2 minutes away from a celebration. 24-10.
These things are always difficult.
I understand.
Because of the merger, we now have 2 of everything, including 2 CIOs, you and Phil. You know I only need 1 guy.
I understand.
Yet we still have the hairiest integration project ever. Servers, storage, databases. It needs the right guy.
I understand.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy.
And that's when it hits you. You are so ready for IBM.
What about Phil?
Oh, he volunteered for some job in Paris.
Paris?
Right now, all projection TVs are on sale at Sears.
Throw the ball, catch the ball, go.
And when you order a Hitachi 53-inch projection TV, you'll save $200, and we'll deliver it in time for the big game.
They give it to Cook, the fullback, I think.
Yeah!
Delivery guaranteed by January 27th, or get a $100 Sears gift card.
The end zone, touchdown!
So don't miss the projection TV set at Sears.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for the new women of Survivor? Meet the designer.
I am Elizabeth.
The struggling actress.
I am Jerry.
The New York City personal trainer.
I am Alicia.
The recent college grad.
I am Amber.
The bartender.
I am Kimmy.
Don't miss Survivor. CBS Super Bowl Sunday after the game.
Well, Baltimore fans relishing the special teams touchdown and Ray Lewis's interception for a touchdown. And you have to look back for Tennessee, don't you, Dan, to those 2 block punts in the second quarter, and they get only 3 points
only
out
3
of it.
points. You're right. A lot of missed opportunities, but again, it is a game that has to be won in all 3 phases if you're to be successful. And when you look at what Baltimore has done, you know, they've won the special teams battle. They have won the defensive battle. They didn't win it offensively,
right,
but that 2 out of 3 is enough.
Enough to do it. And, of course, when you think about all three, that's what the Raiders have had all year. I think the one team that has gotten the least national publicity for the talent that they have and chance they have for a Super Bowl.
Well, this Baltimore defense will be playing their 3rd game of the playoffs, and they'll be tested. They'll be tested by a mighty fine Raider offensive team.
Unless Tennessee comes up with something incredible, but there's an incomplete pass as James Trapp, an extra defensive back, in to help out Dwayne Starks.
All we need for the Titans here is just some sort of a miraculous play. If they could just get to the point where they could go ahead and try the onside kick and have the chance for a couple long throws into the end zone.
Trapp, an ex-Raider.
But they're having to face a Baltimore group that's only got 4 people up by the line and 7 back.
2nd and 10. McNair brought down at the 35-yard line. Sam Adams able to get in to make the tackle, and McNair, who was bruised early in this game on a hit from Ray Lewis, slow getting up.
Yeah, Steve doesn't have a whole lot left. He has really been punished today. And again, as a quarterback, when you have your arms pinned in at your side, the way that Sam Adams pinned McNair's arms to his side that time, that's when you really take a beating on the trip to the ground, because you just have no opportunity to break that fall.
3rd down, 15. Nobody open. Flag down. McNair fights his way free and throws it away. He had Mason over there, but sitting right on the play was Robert Bailey, and holding is the call against Tennessee. And a reminder, coming up on the Subway post-game show, Jim, Mike, Jerry, Randy, Craig, the whole team will have the latest playoff news.
71 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
And Bonnie Bernstein will talk with the winners of today's game. That's coming up on the Subway post-game show. Marvin Lewis, a 42-year-old defensive coordinator, a lifetime coach, highly regarded. Just a matter of time before somebody said, hey, we want you to be our head coach in this league.
It's just a case of sooner or later. I think it's destined for Marvin Lewis to end up being a head coach.
Last play or a big play. Last play for Tennessee as it falls incomplete and appropriately at the feet of Rod Woodson, the great All-Pro, and Tony Saragosa with his sunglasses on early.
Well, he's getting ready to go to California. I think that's why he has them on, because they're going to play in the AFC Championship game next week at the Coliseum in Oakland.
Baltimore, Oakland, 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock in the West. Brian Billick gets the Gatorade bath, and his Ravens
and the fans behind the Titan bench are applauding and giving their home team a round of applause. I don't know that I've ever even seen that.
It's fantastic as Dilfer will take the kneel down. Chance to salute the people, the men and women, and have brought you CBS football throughout the year, and our crew, and our thanks all the way to the top. Our executive producers, Sean McManus and Terry Ewert, coordinating director Larry Cavallina. Today's game produced by Lance Barrow, directed by Mike Arnold. Senior producer of the NFL Today is Eric Mann, and the director Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. Associate director of today's game, Andy Goldberg. The associate producer, Sean Robbins. Broadcast associates Grant Packer and Sarah Rinaldi. Technical manager Steve McEwen. Technical director Norm Patterson. Kevin Skinner, Butch Baird here in our broadcast booth. Thanks to all, and congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens. That #1 defense against scoring, #2 statistically, the best against the run, will meet the best rushing team in the NFL, the Oakland Raiders, next week for the AFC Championship and the right to go to Tampa.
Well, thanks to all of our cameramen and women and our tape operators, everybody all the way down. A great look at a game today, and especially our thanks to Baltimore and Tennessee. They provided us with a big-time football game today, Dick. This was a pleasure to be here. Mike, Lance, great job in the truck. This was a fun season.
And a relative unknown defensive lineman for the Baltimore Ravens, Keith Washington, played his football at University of Nevada, Las Vegas blocked 2 Al Del Greco field goals, and 1 was returned in a tie game. 90 yards for a touchdown by Anthony Mitchell that won it for the Baltimore Ravens. Stay tuned for the Subway post-game show coming up. Just 1 win from the Super Bowl. How good does it feel? Anthony Mitchell, another relative unknown deep on that roster of the Ravens, has the big win. Goodbye to Tennessee. It won't be quiet in Oakland. The Ravens are coming west. The Raiders get ready for the Ravens, the AFC Championship. So long, everyone.
You remember Jared from Subway? Turns out he's inspired a lot of people.
Still looking good to show you the way. His name is Jared, and he'll lead you to Subway. That's where it goes, along with the rest. For 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less.
What an inspiration. Subway. Eat fresh.
Subway Eat Fresh presents Fresh Starts, a tribute to this year's postseason surprises. The Raiders' renaissance this season was a result of head coach John Gruden and the play of quarterback Rich Gannon, as Oakland won its first division title since 1990. Philadelphia's ferocious defensive attack was led by Hugh Douglas, who had 2 sacks last Sunday on the way to the Eagles' first playoff win since 1995.
Yeah.
So, how's my day looking?
Hold on, Carol. Well, there's a conference call at 9. Robert called 6 times. You need to confirm your doctor's appointment. Check your stocks. Go over the budget with the Orlando people. Talk to your mother. The plumber was on the phone. Tom's in a meeting all day, but they sent him a 2-way message about the deal. Review the sales projections with Dan in Denver, and check your email at the party tonight.
Okay.
Want to get it all done? Get Nextel.
And here's your extra battery.
Oh, thanks.
Nextel.
Sorry, Carol.
More ways than anyone to communicate with everyone.
Yes, dear. Mondays on CBS. It's all here.
The new Lexus IS with a 215 horsepower VVTi engine, E-shift transmission, and remarkable handling, which in recent tests easily outcornered a certain other sports sedan.
There's another internet out there. A whole new experience powered by your cable. Faster than 56K. Faster than DSL. And you could be up and running today with a special offer from Comcast. So call now to get Comcast at home, because this offer is only good for a limited time. Or check out Comcast at home at Comcast.com. Welcome to the cable-powered internet. The internet you always imagined.
Show is sponsored by Subway, showing the world how great a fresh-made sandwich can taste. Subway, eat fresh.
And welcome to the Subway postgame show. Jim Nance from our New York studios, and the Ravens are heading out west to take on the Oakland Raiders next week in the AFC Championship game with only 6 first downs. Baltimore still victorious today at Tennessee. We are with you next Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time with the NFL today, leading up to the AFC title game. Yes, we're heading out there too, to California for a little R&R, Ravens and Raiders. Next week on CBS. And Mike, how about this performance? You were talking about turnovers on the NFL today.
Well, I talked to Joseph Fuller before the game, and I said it's going to come down to something crazy in the football game. You look at 2 teams that are very evenly balanced, and the statistics were unbelievably in favor of Tennessee, but they lose the football game. They lost the turnover battle, and I consider a block kick a turnover.
Well, Del Greco, Craig, was just a killer today, just as he had been in that game earlier this year at Adelphia Coliseum.
Well, last year, special teams created the Music City Miracle, which took the Titans on to the Super Bowl. This year, special teams gave him an early exit to go home. Del Greco, I thought when they tried the long 50-yard field goal, I thought that was a mistake because he knows mentally he's having a hard time. Plus, the fact he comes back and misses the next one, that set the tone, Randy, for the rest of the game.
Well, Russ Purnell, the special teams
teams coach for the Baltimore Ravens. You can say a lot of bad things about a lot of special teams in this game. This was good coaching, putting in Anthony Mitchell back there in that position behind the field goal, knowing they'd gotten penetration, they'd gotten a chance to block. He was there to catch that, to take that
And I thought that was the only play in the game where everybody didn't hustle from both sides. Tennessee took the play
They were
off.
surprised. They just
They
stopped.
were. They took
Well, you
the play
talked
off.
about everybody hustling. What I enjoyed everybody was tackling. I love the toughness from both sides. But how about this? You're going to go play in the championship game, and you only completed 5 passes?
6 first downs.
5 passes?
Yeah, Dill for 5 for 16. And one last thing about Del Greco's kicks. 2 of them blocked. Did you see anything there at all?
I don't think he gets the ball up. You know, when we used to play, I was coaching the Dallas Cowboys special teams, and I had Efren Herrera, and I can still tell you, we used to work with the goalpost. We get it right up underneath. Try to get the ball up quick. We were playing Minnesota.
Right.
Minnesota was the best of the league.
Best.
You remember at that time, they jump up, you know, block them all. We never had one block. He got the ball up right now, and you've got to do that.
Gentlemen, the player that really clinched it, Ray Lewis, with the interception return, 4th quarter.
You know, Ray Lewis, when he was 18 years old, told me when he entered the University of Miami, he wanted to be the best linebacker to ever play at Miami. He's well on his way to being the best to ever play in the National Football League. And there's not many.
Slow down, Pony. Slow down.
How many guys, you tell me, how many guys can you see go on the football field and dominate the middle of the football field? When they run the football, he came up and smacked him. When they threw the football, he came back. Hey, not telling you, I played against Mike Singletary. I played against Singletary.
I can name a lot of them.
I played against Singletary. None of those guys could run and had the body that Ray Lewis has.
Well, listen, speaking of Ray Lewis, he's on the field right now with our Bonnie Bernstein. Let's head back down to Nashville, Tennessee. Bonnie?
All right, Ray, I just want to know what it feels like for you to run that far with a football in your hand.
I haven't did that since high school. It was kind of tough. I mean, going through a whole game and then catch an interception after go 50 yards, that's kind of tough. But, hey, I made the play and sealed the win.
You're going to face next week a guy in Oakland named Rich Gannon, one of the big names for NFL MVP. What do you see in him? What do you got to do to stop them next week?
Hey, we're there. And the same thing, we're going to see the same type of quarterback. Steve Minette runs, Rich Gannon runs. But, hey, we'll be waiting for him.
Little trash talking this week, too?
Oh, definitely.
All right, Ray Lewis and the Ravens heading to Raiderland. Next Sunday, we'll have it for you on CBS. A whole lot more still coming your way on the postgame show. We're going to the Ravens locker room. We'll preview the Giants and Eagles in just a moment.
You remember Jared from Subway? Turns out he's inspired a lot of people.
He's still looking good. He'll show you the way. His name is Jared, and he'll lead you to Subway. That's where it goes, along with the rest. For 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less.
What an inspiration. Subway. Eat fresh.
A 260 horsepower CL Type S from Acura.
Hi, my name is Frank.
Hey, Frank.
I'm a junkaholic. It started with Lincoln Logs, and then I moved on to the hard stuff. 2x4s, hammers, handsaws. Till one day, I laid eyes on my first power drill. Oh my God! I knew there was no going back.
You're not alone if you're addicted to TLC's Junkyard Wars. 2 teams, tons of junk, amazing machines. TLC's Junkyard Wars, Wednesdays at 9.
AT&T's broadband technology can carry your company's voice, video, and data around the world at speeds over 2 billion bits per second. Buckle up.
CSI is more than the Golden Globe nominee for Best Drama. For millions, it's become an addiction.
Who are you?
Get hooked on CSI, CBS Friday.
The Subway postgame show is sponsored by Subway, showing the world how great a fresh-made sandwich can taste. Subway, eat fresh.
Hey, listen, here's the lineup tonight on CBS. It begins with 60 Minutes, followed by an all-new episode of Touched by an Angel, then the People's Choice Awards with your favorite stars from TV, movies, and music, all here tonight on CBS. And coming up next, after the Subway postgame show, basketball, #1 undefeated Michigan State at Indiana. Big Ten play coming your way next here on CBS. 4:15 Eastern kick, the Eagles and the Giants. Let's get a report now from the Meadowlands with Jill Arrington.
All right, thanks, Jim. It's great weather here in the Meadowlands. We're at about 40 degrees and clear skies. Perfect weather for the game. Now, Tiki Barber will play in the game today with that fractured left forearm and a sore right foot.
Stand by. All right, this is John Buren at Adelphia Coliseum in Nashville. 24-10 was the good news final. Shannon Sharp, congratulations to you. There was a lot of emotion out there, young man.
It's a big game, big-time game, but we knew we could weather this storm. We knew we were going to come out fired up, emotional. The crowd was going to be into the ball game. When we came into this game, and I think the score was probably 7-7 at the half, we knew we had took their best shot. They had blocked 2 punts, and we were able to weather that. So all we had to do is just put some points on the board. We knew if we can get 17, we were going to be okay.
And now it's on to Oakland for the Baltimore Ravens, a chance to play for the conference championship and a berth in the Super Bowl. I'll be back with Shannon in the postgame show coming up right after CBS Network programming. Stay with us.
Want to play for a chance to redeem yourself?
We can't worry about what happened in the past, and we can't worry about, what happened the last game.